Android tablets have existed a long time, but they have yet to really get iPad popular or even Kindle popular. I think a lot of that is because there aren't really many killer apps for Android tablets, because it's certainly not the price. There are a whole lot of cheap Android tablets out there. The Simbans TangoTab is one of those, with a processor you'll see in plenty of budget tablets, a camera that might as well not be there, and other less than stellar specs. That said, the company seems to think it has an ace up its sleeve. What's that? Ports. Lots and lots of ports. You know, like you've always wanted on an Android tablet. The first thing you'll see when you open the box is, appropriately, the tablet itself. Everything else is packed either beneath the tablet or off to the side. Underneath, you'll find the included faux leather case as well as the manual. Open up the box on the side and you'll find the power supply and adapters for different outlets. 2 cables are included, one for powering the tablet and another for using the tablet to charge other devices. Looking at the specs, nothing really seems to jump out except maybe to say base hardware's really come a long way. You get a 1.5 GHz quad-core MediaTek processor, 3 gigs of RAM, and 64 gigs of storage. More interesting is the 6,000 mAh battery. There are a few things you know not to expect in a tablet at this price point, one of which is any sort of glass or metal in the build. This is plastic, front to back. This does have benefits, making the tablet lighter in weight, for example, but also means you'll need to be careful with it. The plastic on the back of the tablet is rubberized, giving it a slightly soft, grippy feel. This makes the tablet feel better in your hands as you're using it, and it certainly helps to prevent the cheap plastic feel you get in many tablets. That said, the screen is also plastic, so, watch out for scratches. Simbans has addressed this, as the TangoTab comes with a pre-applied screen protector. Since this is put on at the factory, it alleviates many of the problems you'll normally get with screen protectors, like bubbles under them or them not being properly aligned. Of course, as with any screen protector, eventually you're going to have to replace it, so hello bubbles. As another way of keeping the tablet protected, Simbans has also included a folio-style case. Like the tablet, this is plastic, though it has a faux leather appearance, which certainly looks nicer than if they had just left the plastic look as is. The case is bulky, which helps to protect the tablet, but makes it a little unwieldy to handle. It's worth pointing out that this isn't the only way that Simbans sells the TangoTab. There's also a kid's version with an extra bulky case, and a version with a keyboard in case you want to use yours to, get some work done. So far, aside from the included case, the Simbans TangoTab hasn't really been all that different than any other number of cheaper tablets. As I mentioned earlier, where it does differ is all the ports that are included. While your average tablet has a charging port and maybe a micro SD card slot, the TangoTab has a selection of ports that would be right at home on a laptop. One thing to note is that the TangoTab charges through a special charging port, not a micro USB port. The charging cable itself will plug into a USB port, so you can plug it in anywhere you would a normal tablet, but where it meets the tablet, it looks more like a standard AC adapter. This leaves the included micro USB port free even when you're charging. That's far from the only port you'll find. A mini HDMI port lets you plug the TangoTab into an external display or TV, while the micro SD card lets you expand storage. Plus, hey, a headphone jack. Remember those? Seriously though, it's nice to have. And what about a full-size USB port? These are a rarity on a tablet. You can use this for connectivity, but that's not all. The full-size USB port also lets you charge other devices using the TangoTab. Yes, this will drain the battery faster, but considering the 6,000 mAh capacity, it basically lets you treat this like a battery pack that also happens to have a tablet included. The Simbans TangoTab runs Android 9.0 Pie, aka the last dessert-themed version of Android. The user interface is mostly stock in the same way that most manufacturers' interfaces are largely representative of base Android these days. The good news is that, unlike a Fire HD 10, for example, you have full access to the Google Play Store, so you can install any launcher you like. The TangoTab uses a relatively standard 10.1-inch diagonal 16:9 screen layout. The resolution is 1200 by 800, which means we're not looking at the most crisp display. When most phones have higher screen resolutions than your tablet, it's just not going to look especially sharp in comparison. On the other hand, the colors are vivid, which isn't an easy assumption with cheap tablets. I've seen plenty of tablets with higher price tags suffering from washed out colors, so it's nice that that isn't the case with the Simbans TangoTab. Sound is probably what you expected. You can hear things, but it's not especially impressive in any way. The speakers are tinny and thin sounding, but that's par for the course with most tablets, let alone those selling for below $200. That said, this doesn't sound nearly as good or look nearly as sharp as the Amazon Fire HD 10, which only costs a tiny bit more. Performance is, well, I can't think of a tablet I've tried, no matter what the operating system, that was slower to wake up than the TangoTab is. On more than one occasion, I thought I'd accidentally turned the TangoTab off, or maybe it had run out of power, because I'd hit the wake button on the side, and it would pause, and then the screen would come on. This may not sound like a big deal, but in practice, it felt really sluggish. I'd encounter the same thing launching apps, searching the Google Play Store, or clicking links on a web page. Everything worked, eventually, it just took a while to get going. That sounds bad, and it is. But it's not all doom and gloom. I found streaming movies and TV shows from Netflix and other apps work just fine. Yes, the display and audio issues I mentioned are still present, and you're not going to forget that you're not inside a movie theater, but if you're just looking for something to stream Netflix on the go, this will get the job done. If you're looking for a tablet for games, image editing, or other work that's going to push the CPU, you might want to opt for something else. Don't buy the TangoTab expecting an iPad, a Galaxy Tab, or even a Kindle. You'll be disappointed. Buy it expecting a budget tablet, and you'll be reasonably happy with what you end up getting. Compared to a Kindle, the TangoTab is less locked down, more customizable, and it comes in a handy case. That's not a recipe for a premium tablet, but I have a feeling that's not what Simbans was going for here. Hey, you want to know more about this tablet and all those sweet, sweet ports? Head over and read the article at makeuseof.com. While you're there, you can enter a giveaway to win one of these for yourself. Hate reading but still want to win stuff? Then just head to makeuseof.com/giveaways. When you get to the part about a video bonus question, enter ports, 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 all one word. Thanks to Simbans for providing the review unit, and as always, thanks to you for watching.